back with another episode of CLOT Conversations from the ISTH meeting 2025 in Washington, D.C. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the interviews we've had to date, and I'm pleased to introduce Dr. Gregoire Le Gal and Dr. Vicky Mai. Vicky is going to interview Dr. Le Gal about the presentation that he made here at the ISTH. Vicky, here you go.
Hi, so it is a real honor to have the opportunity to interview my mentor, Dr. Le Gal, about the oral abstract that he presented on Adjust DVT, which will be a practice-changing study. So, Dr. Le Gal, can you tell us what was the knowledge gap that made you decide with your team to conduct this study?
Yes, thank you, Vicky. Well, as you know, right, when the D-dimer have been around for a long time to investigate patients with suspected VTE, typically they are combined with a pre-test probability assessment. And for the longest time, we've been using 500 nanogram per milliliter of FEU as a threshold for negativity or positivity. But we soon got to realize that as age goes on in older adult patients, the D-dimer levels go up as well. And as a result, their chance of having a negative D-dimer results are getting lower, which is an issue, right? Because they are really the patients with whom we would like to be able to avoid having to do a CTPA or having to keep them in hospital awaiting an ultrasound or having to receive anticoagulants if there is no reason. So years ago already, we had shown that using an age-adjusted cutoff, by which in patients aged 50 years or more, you multiply the patient's age by 10, and that number is a new cutoff that you can use to rule out VTE. So, for example, if someone is 62 years old, his cutoff would be 620. If he's 73, 730, and so on. And we had done a validation study for PE that was published already almost 10 years ago, showing that it was a good thing to do, that it would significantly increase the yield of the D-dimer test and the proportion of patients in whom PE could be ruled out without imaging test. But as soon as we published it, everybody came to see us and say, hey, can I use that now for DVT as well? And the answer was that we didn't really know, right? Because we don't know how much is a correlation between the typical D-dimer level in someone with a DVT versus someone with a PE. So we thought we had to do a specific study for that, and that's what we did.
So can you tell me more about the results that you found with your study?
Sure. So we did a cohort study of 3,200 patients with suspected DVT. We used a very classical diagnostic algorithm for DVT, well scored to start with, D-dimer induced with a non-high pretest probability. But what we changed is that the DVT was ruled out not only if the D-dimer was below 500, but now also if the D-dimer was below their age-adjusted cutoff, right? And we were happy to see that when you do that and when you rule out DVT also in those with a D-dimer that would be greater than 500 but below their age-adjusted cutoff, the safety was really good. We had no event during follow-up in those patients with a negative age-adjusted cutoff. So that was really reassuring.
So I can see that the results are quite concordant with the Adjust PE study that was published 10 years ago. Did you expect it to have those results?
Yeah, so it's concordant on the safety side. It was a bit disappointing to see that in the PE study, the increase in the yield of the D-dimer test was higher. Like it typically in suspected PE patients, like 1/3 of them will have a negative D-dimer, and by using the age-adjusted, you would increase that proportion by 10%. In DVT patients, surprisingly enough, the rate of negative D-dimer was much lower to start with, and the additional increase by using the age-adjusted wasn't so important kind of thing. But I still think it's good because at least it makes that people can use the age-adjusted D-dimer regardless of whether it's a suspected DVT or suspected PE. So hopefully that will make the life of people working in emergency departments or in thrombosis clinics a bit easier.
Thank you very much. So as I can see with these very interesting results, you would change your practice according to these new results.
Yes, I think we are ready for that because, you always want to make sure that there is enough data around. What we did in the study is that we made sure that we had specifically enough patients in that subgroup of patients with a D-dimer greater than 500 but lower than the age-adjusted. But we also have a lot of retrospective data, or people went to look back in databases, and so the whole body of literature, I think, confirms that it's a really safe thing to do.
With these results, do you have any other ideas, research ideas related with the age-adjusted D-dimer cutoff?
Not me directly, but stay tuned, because there is a Canadian investigator that are trying to take it to the next step by doing a study in which the age-adjusted would be embedded in a simplified diagnostic algorithm for DVT. So yes, that's what I like about research, right? You put your stone on the wall and someone will put the next one after you.
So thank you very much for your time, and stay tuned for the future results of this study.
And thank you both for participating today. It's great to have you on CLOT Conversations. Thank you to our audience for listening to CLOT Conversations from Thrombosis Canada. We look forward to sharing with you our resources and tools on our website at thrombosiscanada.ca. Have a great day, and we'll be back soon.